Hey guys, Justin here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a special outdoors behind the scenes for you. This photo shoot expands across a wide variety of unique shooting locations, all based in the beautiful Old Port of Montreal, Canada. I filmed this photo shoot with the talented Eden von Weiss, whose information I will link down below. Guys, we have a lot in store for you today, so without further ado, let's dive straight into today's video and begin with location number 1. And for the first location, we chose to set up camp right next to the famous Montreal clock tower on the edge of the St. Lawrence River. I thought this would be an ideal starting point due to the abundance of photo-worthy landmarks and picturesque backdrops, including the river itself, the Jacques Cartier Bridge, the surrounding islands, and the long Riverside walkway complete with a beautiful and cinematic stretch of railing. And speaking of this railing, I thought that by having Eden lean against it in some way, shape or form would help to create a more natural looking composition whilst enhancing the photographic storytelling. I also like the leading lines that the railing created. Leading lines and diagonal lines in general can be a great way to enhance a photo's sense of depth whilst creating a more 3D look by drawing the viewer's eye further into the photo. Now for the second location, we simply moved to a nearby park bench a couple steps away from the railing, and my motivation for doing so was to take full advantage of the majestic fall colors in the background. I thought that these colors and background textures would frame the model beautifully whilst adding a nice color pop to the images. Now, as picturesque as this spot was, there was one small problem. It was extremely windy. But even though wind can be an obstacle during any shoot, with the right precautionary measures such as shooting in burst mode, as well as periodically asking your model to adjust or hold her hair in place, we were able to use the wind to our advantage by helping us create a more cinematic, glamorous, and all-natural wind-blown look. And with that, for our next location, we decided to walk further inland to see if we could capture some awesome shots around Montreal's Grand Ferris Wheel. The Grand Ferris Wheel just so happens to be a popular destination for tourists and photographers alike due to the amazing photo opportunities that this location provides. But unfortunately, luck was not on our side this day, as the harsh lighting from the sun's direct rays made it nearly impossible to capture a flattering image. So we decided to pack up our stuff once again and head towards the Bon Secours Park across the bridge to hopefully find some more softer, more ambient lighting among the trees. And thankfully, softer, more ambient light is exactly what we found. Not to mention the beautiful fall colors in the background, as well as the awesome visual texture of the trees. And by asking Eden to lean against the tree, we were able to benefit from the negative or shadow fill the tree created on one side of Eden's face. The gradual shift from shadow to light across Eden's face not only enhanced her facial contours and shape, but also helped to create a more 3D look in general. For our next stop, we decided to venture deeper into Montreal's oldest neighborhood, Old Montreal, to capture some urban shots amongst the charming historic buildings. And our first stop along the winding cobblestone streets was in a relatively quiet and secluded area which contained a beautiful black and gold fence which I was immediately drawn to. I particularly like this location because of its colors. I love the way the muted darker tones and golden colors of the environment and fencing match the muted colors of Eden's outfit and the blonde highlights in her hair. I also like the fact that there was some green vegetation in the background, making it the perfect addition to the triadic color palette I ultimately went for in the final edit. Becoming more familiar with appealing color schemes and palettes is not only helpful when it comes time to the edit, but can also play a major role in helping you decide things like which location to choose, as well as what type of clothes the model should be wearing. So be sure to brush up on your color palettes. I promise you it will make a huge difference. Following this location, for our next spot, we chose a nearby quaint little alley. And I thought that the dark bluish tones of this environment would perfectly contrast with Eden, who was being perfectly lit up by the warmer, brighter overcast sky above. It was as if a giant softbox was being suspended overhead, creating this awesome spotlight effect, helping to separate Eden from the background and making her pop out of the frame. I also liked how the light in the distance was creating a beautiful backlighting or halo effect to the edges of Eden's hair, creating further separation and adding a really nice touch to what was already a seemingly perfect composition. For our next location in the fairy tale neighborhood of Old Montreal, we decided to head on over to the Place d'Armes Square, the home of Montreal's famous Notre Dame Cathedral and the head office of the oldest bank in Canada. As a shooting location, this old bank was very appealing to me as I really liked the Roman temple architecture, which included large granite columns and grand majestic steps. My immediate thought was to position Eden at the top of the stairway whilst I stood at the bottom, so as to capitalize on the low angle shot. Low shots as a type of subjective camera angle can be an awesome way to create the feeling that the subject is powerful, strong, and confident. This type of angle also has the benefit of emphasizing the subject's surroundings, which in this case included a beautiful reflective doorway entrance complete with gold framing. With that done, we decided to depart from the streets and head indoors for our final shoot location of the day. Montreal's famous World Trade Center building, complete with an elegant water fountain and reflecting pool. For the final round of shots, I had asked Eden to either lay down flat on her stomach or to sit down whilst leaning forward slightly. Both of these poses work really well to create a more 3D looking image, especially when shooting in a low aperture, as by doing so will create a smooth and gradual transition from the in-focus area of your subject's face to the blurry / out of focus fall off into the distance. So you get this really nice blurring effect in Eden's body and beyond. And that about concludes today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like and let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out Eden's social media feeds. I'll be sure to leave them in the description down below. The same goes for P-Cell, who kindly helped me capture all the raw footage you saw in today's video. And as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another future video. Bye for now, guys.